Hello, how you doing? My name is Demi if you're new here. So welcome to another psychic sit down reading. This reading is going to be with Archangel Metatron and Archangel Uriel and Archangel Gabriel. But Archangel Metatron and Uriel are coming through firstly very strongly. Their messages are going to be connected to memory, what it is, and why some people in this room feel like we're living in a simulation. So we're going to hop right into it. And they're poisoned to water. They asked me to use this deck that is connected to water, and they've also asked for another water deck when we're delving into messages about memory. So memory is very strongly tied to the water, both in the seas, the lakes, the rivers that are on Mother Earth, but also the celestial waters and the firmament that surrounds us, the dome of water that we are under. So we're going to hop right into it. And Metatron is saying you have memories that are connected to your human side, right? And who your soul has been in its travels. So in reincarnations that you've had on Earth, but you've also had reincarnations where you were in a different realm, a different dimension. You were in different star systems. So a lot of you are going to resonate with being a star seed. Each one of those lives, those souls' journeys that you were on, you were a different spirit and a different essence. And this different spirit and this different essence holds its own memory. And then your soul holds like all of the memories, but a core memory and blueprint of who you truly are. So you've got two memories that are now being asked right now to come into balance. They're being asked to be merged. So human beings, what's going on in the collective right now, we're remembering who we are at the human level, but we're also remembering who we are at the soul level, who we are when we return home, back to our origin, back to our source. But water is very important and very significant when it comes to memory. So some of you guys could have like a lot of past life visions that obviously pop up, that will come to the surface, connected to your subconscious when you're in the astral, when you're in the dream state. But also a lot of you may realize that a lot of memories come to the surface or unlock. You have like a lot of aha moments, realizations when you're in the shower, when you're in the bath, when you're by bodies of water. So when you're at the beach, when you're near a river or a lake, you could realize this is when a lot of visions start popping up and come into your conscious mind. So water is asking you to work with her in terms of your remembrance, your memory. We're going to hop right into it. You're being asked right now to stand up tall and be a warrior. Remember that you hold spiritual tools within your psyche, within your DNA, yes, but also within your soul. We have Lady of the Lake, intention. I conjure magic. Look at that. She's literally sitting on the lake, sitting on the water in stillness. And I'm being shown like all of these things here that are in the water. It looks like lights. It looks like lanterns. These are memories. They're thought forms, but they're also memories that you guys are being asked to connect with right now. So I would advise you to be around bodies of water when you can. Some of you, if you can't do that, literally just go in the shower, in the bath, when you're in the kitchen, when you're doing the dishes. You could also notice that when you're washing up, when you're doing the dishes, that you go off into a daydream. You're not just daydreaming. You're literally like, you're connecting more to your soul. But it's like you're literally drifting off to another timeline, another dimension. So pay attention to what is occurring within you when you are by water, when you're working with water. Again, just doing everyday things. When it comes to spirituality, when it comes to you remembering who you are, it doesn't have to be like these grand theatrics that people seem to like imagine, like there's going to be a spirit right there, there's going to be orbs here, there and everywhere. It's not always going to be like that. You're literally going to be seeing like an angel in the clouds, in the sky. These things can happen, but for the most part, you're going to be getting signs and omens. You're going to be having the Most High God and Mother Earth trying to get through to you, your ancestors, your spiritual core, everything on the daily when you're just going about your daily business. You're going to your 9 to 5, when you're on a run, when you're doing the washing, when you're doing the dishes, when you're doing the boring, mundane stuff that you don't actually want to be doing. Spirit are right there and they are communicating with you. What else, Spirit, needs to be coming through from the collective? Do pay attention right now to the signs that you're seeing in the sky, in the clouds, particularly after it's been raining. And if you'll notice, like after it's been like raining and storming, normally that's when a rainbow comes out. And with the shape of a rainbow, the rainbow is in the shape of a dome. And I remember asking Mother Earth when I was kind of like delving into what is the shape of Earth? Is the Earth round or is the Earth flat? Are we in a dome? And I kept hearing both are correct. And then Spirit kept showing me a rainbow. And Mother Earth herself was like, look out for the rainbows, look out for the rainbows, there's your answer. And then I started to see rainbows everywhere, like full, beautiful, fully formed one. And they're always in the dome shape. So that's coming through as a sign for somebody. And the more that you remember, the more you tap into your memory, both at the same, on all bodies, right? Your physical body, your emotional body, your nervous system, your spiritual body, your ethereal body. That's when you're going to be quantum leaping. That's when you're going to be tapping into more of your blessings because you remember who you are. You have to remember who you are for you to be stepping into your purpose and your calling. You can't do it any other way. Our Lady of Lourdes, sorrow, thank you for my healing. A lot of you are being asked to remember to cloak yourself from your crown to your feet, from your feet to your crown, in pure, holy, white light. Visualize yourself being cloaked in pure, holy, white light. That's your protection. And they're pointing to the tears now. They keep pointing to water. Water is coming through is significant. And it's like in your tears also holds a memory. In your tears also holds a blueprint of who you are. And when it comes to like the spiritual path, you're going to be no stranger. When you've been on this ascension pathway in the spiritual path, when you're going through certain ego deaths and spiritual awakenings and you're doing the healing work and you're really dropping and releasing the baggage, you would have shed a lot of tears. You would have cried a lot. Crying is part of the human language. Crying is part of being a human being. But crying is purification. It's very powerful. And it helps you. It's like the more you're crying, you'll be crying a river. And then you'll have a new memory that's been unlocked. And I'm being shown like different scenes from the Matrix. And it's like when Neo comes out of the fake world, the Matrix, and goes into the real world. And he's being plugged into the system. And he's downloading anything he wants to download. So if he wants to learn like Zonzu, karate, that sort of thing, he can download it within an instant. That's coming through is significant for you. I feel like that's what you're doing in the dream state and in the astral right now. So you may be waking up feeling very, very tired because your soul is doing a lot on the other side. Even if you've got like 8 hours sleep. It's your human self, your human vessel and body that has been rested and sleeping. But the soul doesn't sleep. It's still going about its journey, its business. Hearing your soul is still going about its business. Maybe that's what some of you guys say when you wake up. Mother Mary is now stepping forward, and Mary Magdalene. A lot of you are on the ascension pathway and journey that is connected to the Miriam, the Rose lineage. So you're very powerful, connected to a goddess energy, to Christianity. You may have been a Christian a lot in different past lives. Maybe some of you were raised as a Christian in this life, but it's like a proper one, as a Christian being. Not necessarily following the religious doctrine and the Bible. Because you hold the scriptures within yourself. You know this. You hold the scriptures within your heart. You don't need a book outside of yourself telling you how you should be living your life and what you should be believing in, you know. We have here Ran and Agar, co-creation. I unite with the power of love. The remembrance. He's pointing to the human side and the soul side. You need to be coming together to have the full remembrance and memory. And then you fully step into your power. That's what's being activated in you right now. Some of you guys may have been paying attention recently to the Schumann resonance. Metatron is bringing up the Schumann resonance in my mind. There might have recently been some white spikes in it. I don't really look into it, but I know some people do. There might have recently been some blank spaces or white spikes that you were noticing. And when that happens, that's when a lot of you notice that you either go like completely blank. You could have one of those days where you're like kind of on this like autopilot and you're not really thinking too much. You go completely blank. That's when you're being rewired. It's like Mother Earth is plugging into you and she's rewiring you and giving you an update. She's cleaning your system and giving you an update. So some of you guys could kind of go like blank on that day. Or just have that day where you're resting, you're not really doing much, where you don't have to be using your brain. Others of you, it could be the complete opposite when you've been noticing this. Like on those days, you could notice every single ascension symptom that you're going through. A lot of you could have migraines, you could have headaches. It literally feels like your mind is giving birth, like it's pulsating. That's coming through is significant. Some of you could be having aches and pains, like backache up here I'm getting on the top of your back. Like a lot of aches are coming through is significant. You may be being visited by new ascended masters who have different markings on their face. They may be blue. I'm hearing blue beings. They could be connected to the greys. Blue beings and the greys are coming through is significant. A lot of you could be having dreams that you're on some sort of mothership, a starship. It's a mothership that you've been connected to on your soul's journey in past lives. So again, a lot of you are going to resonate with being a starseed. Because you are. And you came here to help at this time, to help evolve and be part of humanity's growth. Again, you see this in between. It's given the shape of the goddess. I'm being shown the goddess shape. So a lot of you on that ascension pathway of tapping back into the divine feminine mysteries. You hold a lot of wisdom and knowledge that is connected to the Miriam, to Mother Mary, to Mary Magdalene, and to the dragon. It's like you have a guardian dragon that's always been right there. And some of you are about to be seeing this guardian dragon. And Spirit is saying like remembrance at a soul level. That helps you to activate more of your brain. That's when you start using a higher percentage of your brain. That's also what's going on collectively within the human race. They're being activated on every level. We have Atlantis. Keep the big vision. Stay in alignment as you grow. It's like you're literally delving into pools of water on the other side. You're going back. You've been going back home. Or it's like a home from home. I'm hearing a home from home when it comes to Atlantis, ancient Lemuria. You've been returning back home to collect these different pearls of wisdom that you left there. And you knew you was going to travel back and collect them. And then you're bringing them back into this timeline, into this era, into this time. And you're going to use them to both assist with yourself, with your enlightenment, with your ascension journey. But you're here to assist other people. Something about stags and deers and animals with antennas. You could be seeing these animals everywhere. A lot of you will have power animals and spirit animals that walk with you like this. I keep being shown a deer and a stag. Very majestic, very beautiful. And it's white. It's appearing as white and glowing with holy light. Maybe some of you guys have had this kind of spiritual experience where you saw this. You could have been out walking in the woods and you literally saw this. Now they're bringing through Harry Potter. I forgot what it's called. It's Hagrid's pet. Kind of looks like a mix between like a horse, some sort of unicorn thing. It has wings and it flies. I forget what it's called. But that mythological creature is coming through is significant. This is the thing. Things that we've been told are just fantasy, or this is just connected to mythology, that are actually real. People are going to start witnessing and seeing again with their human eyes, with their, not just the spiritual eyes, with their human eyes. People are going to be seeing these things making appearances again. This is why AI is here at this time, to kind of throw people off. But the more you remember who you are, the more you have delved into the cosmic ocean of who you are, the celestial waters and Mother Earth's waters. So do connect to the sea. Tune into your higher self and connect to like the consciousness and the energy of the sea, because the sea holds so much memory and so much truth about this realm, about this planet, and about who we truly are as human beings. That's why so many people are like, if you believe they're visiting space. That's why so many people get mad. They're like, why are they journeying into space? We don't even know what's at the bottom of our seabed. Because there's certain people in this world who don't want you to know what's in the sea, what's carried in the sea. Consciousness. That's why water keeps coming through as significant when it comes to memory and remembering who you are and where you came from. You came from the water. The water holds everything. It holds everything, is the key. That's why children are birthed and grown in the womb, in the waters. They're born in water. You have to be born in water. If a soul is going to be entering the evolutionary flow of Mother Earth, if a soul is going to come here to Earth and have a human experience, you have to pass through water. You have to pass through the womb. Even when they're like cloning people out here, right? And they're creating a consciousness, a soul won't come through in that kind of vessel, but it still has to be grown in some sort of water. We have a metamorphosis, embrace transformation. Things are now different. And this is what we're going through at a collective level. People are rising on up, not afraid to be their authentic selves and not afraid to claim sovereign anymore. So many people have been very afraid of their power, and it's understandable because we've literally been raised. We've been raised to fit into this old paradigm, and this is where a lot of people have been feeling like we live in a simulation, right? Sometimes you can wake up from a dream that was very, very vivid, and you kind of have to wake up and poke yourself, pinch yourself, touch yourself and be like, wait, where am I? Because that felt more real than here, this physical reality. It's because we've been so disconnected from our souls, from that memory, from spirit, that when you're just here connected to the matrix, the old paradigm that wasn't working, that's just built on like eat, sleep, repeat, that Groundhog Day, chasing your own tail, doing the same thing every single day. Obviously you're going to feel like you're in a simulation because you're not actually living. You're not connected to your breath. You're not connected to what's sacred. You're not connected to earth or what is life itself. And life itself is not just the soul, it's the physicality. It's very, very important. I know some people like to say that the soul is more important, it's more sacred. No, the human self, the physical body, this vessel is also very sacred, very important. I want to get an orb. Some of you guys could be seeing orbs everywhere. When you think about it, like with the old paradigm, people have literally been plugged into something that wasn't them, that didn't resonate, that wasn't home, which is why so many people walk around feeling lost. They were like a zombie of themselves, a ghost of themselves, because they've been running on this this software, this programming that wasn't of Mother Earth. Somebody else created it, and you've just been running on that and feeling off your whole life. We're being unplugged right now. When you're being unplugged, that causes chaos. It causes discomfort, and it can cause pain and ascension symptoms. And we're being rewired with the real software of Mother Earth. So there'll be a bit of confusion. You'll already be seeing it. Of people in the collective who are trying to understand like what we are, who we are, what this realm actually is. But a lot of people are going to go down that road of being like, oh, we're in a simulation. None of this is real. It is very real. What you're on Earth, the realm of Earth, and it's very, very real. And it's very important to your soul's journey. You've been here before, and a lot of you will come back again. We have here Archangel Perlimic. Yeah, it's when a lot of you are out and about and you're around nature that you get a lot of downloads and codes, both from Mother Earth but also from your spiritual court, from God. Some of you could have dreams of having your own land, of living on a farm, of having like a homestead. That could be a dream for a lot of you, and that dream is going to be possible. It's going to take work, but that dream is going to be possible. Maybe this will be happening for a lot of you when you're in your 30s. Is coming through as significant. Or you could have realised this was a dream of yours. This is what you wanted. So you could have been in the rat race, lived in a city all your life, been in a 9 to 5. And it's like one day you just woke up and you're like, nope, fuck this. I want fresh air. I want to be around animals. I want my own home, my own land, my own farm. What else, Spirit? And you're also seeing that like a lot of people are wanting to move more in the suburbs or move off grid. But this is the thing. We're always connected. As human beings, we're always connected with one another. So you can leave the internet. You can not go without electricity. Go and live in the middle of the grid and literally live just by the land and not having any neighbours or anyone around you. You will still be connected to other human beings in this realm. You can't just unplug yourself like that from other human beings. You're always going to be connected because you're on Mother Earth. If you think about it, like people that you hadn't, before you'd met them, these people were perfect strangers, but they were never a perfect stranger. There was already a memory there between you. Either going to be a future memory or was a memory connected to a past life. There's a string of fate that connects perfect strangers. And they're bringing through a program that you may have recently been watched. It could have been called that. I think about seven strangers. There might be a program called that. There's another program coming through called 1899. That's on Netflix. And that's connected to memory, to this belief that we're in a simulation and different realities. 1899. There's only one series though. It got cancelled. And this is the thing. There's a lot of programs that get cancelled because they're going too much into the truth. But still they serve their purpose. There was a reason like a lot of programs were just made for that one season. We have here Archangels Jophiel, Metatron, Gabriel and Michael with Lady Nada. You might be seeing golden orbs everywhere. You see the number 7 is coming through is significant. But I feel like for a lot of you, there's like 7 significant people that you're going to meet throughout your lifetime. You know those people that you always remember or that will get very, very close to you, who will see all sides of you, who you're not wearing a mask or a facade around. 7 is coming through significant, but some of you is like still 7 people you have yet to meet. These are members of your soul family, and it's like when you meet these people, you activate one another, you activate more remembrance and more memory. Again, memory is very, very significant and important to your destiny. You're not going to reach your destined timeline if you don't remember who you are, what human beings are, what our origin is, what you came here to do, where your soul came from, who the source of your soul is. You have to remember all of this. And a lot of you came to do this in this lifetime. Metatron and Uriel were also talking about dementia and Alzheimer's. You know, diseases that are connected to the brain and people literally forgetting who they are and not remembering their loved ones. And other like diseases connected to the brain where people feel like they're literally going crazy, like schizophrenia, this sort of thing. These diseases, we're going to start delving into what they're actually here to teach us and how to get to the root. When you understand why something is happening, why it's occurring, why it's here, and what it's here to teach us, that's going to help you get to the root. And some of you guys could have family members who suffered with dementia and Alzheimer's disease. Shaking is coming through as a symptom for a family member. They could have also had like seizures. Seizures are coming through as significant. We have here the storm. I'm seeing like a cracked mirror with this card here, with the storm, a cracked mirror. So when people look in the mirror and they don't recognize themselves, or they're not seeing themselves fully, there's a disconnect there. This opens certain neurological pathways in the brain that kind of welcome in a craziness, is what is coming through is significant. When you're looking in the mirror, there's nothing wrong in the mirror, it's fine. But when you're looking in the mirror, there's a distortion at the soul level. Because you're not remembering your soul and who you are. So there's a disconnect there from the spirit, from spirituality. This is what's left a lot of people feeling very, very fragmented. And if you've been through any trauma, both in past lives and in this life, any trauma, any abuse, that can cause a soul fragmentation. So your soul can literally split and parts of your soul can kind of like go off in order to protect yourself. Like you probably heard when people have been in certain circumstances, like if they're being violated, if they're being like physically abused or SA abused, a lot of people will say that when it was happening, it's like they were up here floating, watching it happen. They weren't in their body anymore. That's the soul fragmenting in order to protect the human vessel, the body. And so the soul doesn't absorb that abuse and that pain, that trauma. It breaks off. So a lot of you have been facing where you've had this fragmentation at the soul level and putting yourself back together again. I'm hearing Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. So it could have happened to you at childhood. Maybe in this lifetime you went through certain abuse and you know that caused the fragmentation. And you have been becoming whole again, healing. Because this is the sort of thing that should really be taught, you know, when you think about it in mainstream schooling and education. Finances, budgeting, that sort of thing, how to invest, like mortgages, buying a house, that sort of thing isn't taught in like schools or colleges either. But they should also teach people that your soul's having a human experience, and this is going to be happening like down the line. We're quite far off still, but it will be happening down the line as more and more people are waking up. We have The Ring. The movie The Ring could be significant. That movie, it has a well within it. Spirit are talking about a well. Again, a well, what does it hold? Water. That's what you've been doing, delving into the darkness, delving into the well of yourself. That's the only way to get to the root. That's the only way to remember and return home. Remembrance is the key, is what Spirit are saying. Some of you could be seeing the eye of Horus. You could be seeing eyes everywhere. But that's also what's going to open your third eye and your clairvoyance, your activation. The more you're tapped into both memories, the human side and the soul side, with the shadow here, the light and the dark. You need all memories, even the dark ones, the bad ones, the traumatic ones that you don't want to remember, because usually that's what's holding you back. Like if you're carrying something from a past life and you're someone who's walking around not believing in reincarnation and past lives and how trauma can affect you in that way, you're never going to get to the root of it. It's just going to be there, hanging over you like a blanket, lingering here, and you're never going to face it. That's no way to live, I'm hearing. That's no way to live. Spirit is saying that music is a trigger. Music is a trigger. Frequency is a trigger. And obviously the more you're remembering, the more you're pulling yourself up to a higher frequency. So if you think about people who suffer with dementia, they can often forget like their own loved ones until the loved one, maybe let's say one of the loved ones can sing or play the piano or some sort of instrument, and they visit this person with dementia and they start playing it, and then like they have that remembrance. You can tell in their face and in their eyes when they remember, and that's been triggered by that music. But there's certain memories that's going to help you trigger and remember who you are, because it opens up different neurological pathways within the brain. The brain is not just connected to being a human being. The brain is connected to the ley lines in Mother Earth, and the brain is also connected to Source, to the Most High God. You think about it, the brain is here where your third eye is and where your crown chakra is. The brain is very, very powerful. Like you need to be using the logic, the heart, the soul, the mind, everything in unison. And that's when you become that powerful human being. That's when you become sovereign, whole. It's like, I don't understand people who will kind of disregard the whole medical industry, like all of science, and just go over here completely on the holistic side. Because God is in science and science is in God. There's a reason it exists, you know. We have the void, retreat, rest and pause. And see again with the blue, the water. I'm hearing portals hold water. Portals hold water. Human beings are portals. Yes, women are portals on the gate because you have a womb. You stand in between the physical and the spirit, but every single human being is a portal. And every single human being holds the celestial waters within them and both without them, within your auric field. And right now we've been delving into the void. Because it's up to everyone to be looking in the mirror, and it's your responsibility. You need to take accountability to where your mirror is fragmented. I'm hearing Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror. That song that's coming through is significant. What else, Spirit? Why do many people believe they're in a simulation, Spirit? I'm going to ask that. Why do people believe we're in a simulation? There's a quote that I've seen quite a while ago. Someone put, like, connected to this belief we're in a simulation. Like, have you ever seen your neighbours, like, bringing groceries in their house? It was something like that. And I remember reading it and thinking, yeah. All the time. I even bump into my neighbours in Tesco and Sainsbury's when we're down the street. But that sort of thing as well, it's because, like, when you think about another human being, like when that your neighbours next door, they're in their house, your house and their house, that's completely different energy, completely different portals, completely different lives that are going on. But this is it as well. There's that disconnect, this independent kind of energy and way that we have been living. The more we're connected to unity, consciousness and togetherness, the less people are going to feel like we're in a simulation, because you're more connected to one another. You're more connected to yourself, to Mother Earth and to one another. So you start feeling more connected to life itself. And Spirit keep talking about the breath. And this is why a lot of people are returning to breath work, learning different techniques, or like yoga techniques, and how to actually breathe properly, and to the point where it can help you to balance out your nervous system and any anxiety or panic attacks that you may be going through. I'm hearing the breath is connected to the seas. The breath is connected to the seas. What else? Metaphor. We have Lilac, Higher Realms and Magic, and that's come up with Transformation, Light and Dark. So a lot of people also feel like we're in a simulation, because again, it's like the astral realm, when they're dreaming, that feels more real to them. That can be a sign that they're not grounded enough in the physical body. They're not rooted and grounded enough in their body and in earth, and that can cause people to be up here a bit more flighty, a bit more in the higher chakras. But if you're too much in the higher chakras and you haven't found that balance, then you're not actually having a proper human experience. And then we have here the transformation, the light and the dark. So again, he's talking about the disconnect that we've been having in terms of the human remembrance, the human memory, and the soul's memory. So we need to be having that balance. They're coming back into interconnectedness, being connected again. And the higher and the lower nature. Every single human being has a Lilith and Eve within them. Every single human being has the ability to do good, has the ability to be more moving through life, through the heart and through their higher self. But every single human being also has the ability to commit evil, to harm another human being. And if anyone says any different, they are lying. What else, Spirit? We have here Shambhala initiations, retreating to recharge, trusting in the process, Dharma. So Metatron is pointing to like children and teenagers, and how like they commit crimes too, right? Children could kill one another and physically harm one another too. And you're seeing it happen more with teenagers. There was a case in the UK, like a teenager got stabbed in the back. It recently happened, and there's a lot of people who are kind of shocked about this happening. Basically, they're like, oh, they're getting younger. Like, why all these murderers and people who are committing these horrible crimes to other human beings, why they're getting younger and younger? That has always happened, but because of the internet, there's more of a light that's being shone on it. But even children can commit evil. And that needs to come to the surface. So again, all of these facades are kind of torn away from like human beings and the reality of human beings, or the reality that we're in right now, the paradigm that we have been connected to that isn't working. That has too many people running around in a rat race, running around chasing a life that they don't even want. It's not even a heart's desire half the time, half the things that people are going for in this life. They're just seeing other people doing it and they're like, oh, maybe I should be doing it too. Because over there it looks shiny. Over there they look happy, but you don't truly know how somebody else is living or what they're feeling within. You need to focus on you. And the more you're focusing on you, the more you're delving into yourself and you get to know you, the more you can get an inkling of who other people are. Like when you're around them, you can pick up on their body language, on their energy field. Some of you will activate more of your gifts and you can literally see who they are within their aura. You can see whether it's cloudy, you can see what woundings they have, you can see what demons or entities that may be attached to them that they're not working through, that they're not trying to remove, that they're not facing. You can see all of this. You can see if they have angels walking with them, certain spirits and ancestors walking with them. The more you know yourself and who walks with you. And right now, humanity as a collective, we're walking through a very powerful initiation. And essentially, God and Earth are saying, remember who you are. Remember who you are. Star gathering, stars aligned, remembering home, soul, family. Because when you remember who you are as well, again, more of your blessings will come in. 3-3 could be significant. The time was just 30-30. So you could be seeing that angel number everywhere. But the more you remember who you are and where you've been and who you've been in Mother Earth and your different reincarnations, the more your blessings will come in. And the more the right people will start to see you, other people who have had this powerful remembrance and activation too. Your soul family, your soul tribe, you can start finding one another. Some of you may literally be dreaming of like the skies being a grid like this. You see here again this shape, like the shape of a rainbow, a dome that keeps coming through, significant. We have here inner earth, base chakra, strength and security, laying foundations. It's so important. It's never been more important for us to be grounded in our bodies, to actually want to be here, having this human experience. That's very, very important. Because as Mother Earth is moving up in consciousness, more people are at risk from being pushed into a psychosis, a spiritual psychosis, or feeling like you're going crazy. So it's very, very important for you to do your spiritual practices, do your practices that help you to pull you back into your body. That's what your spiritual path should be doing. That's what your enlightenment and your ascension should be doing. Returning you back home to your humanness, to life itself, for you to understanding that life is sacred, this realm is sacred, is very real, it's very important. It's not a simulation. I am present. Light body activation, accessing the divine within. Because that's how you truly activate yourself. That's how you remember and wake up your Messiah blueprint. That's how you become like Jesus and Mary Magdalene. I want to get some messages from Archangel Gabriel now. Archangel Gabriel is wanting to come through with some messages. We're going to get automatic writing pen. So what else does the collective need to hear in this reading, Spirit? I'm hearing peace. Peace is returning. Peace is coming. So your peace of mind and you feeling content with yourself and your life, that's what's returning to a lot of you right now. We have here new levels, same old devils. Try new tricks. They want you moving too quick because then you might fuck up and trip. Take your time, own your shine. Deep down, you know you've got this. Focus, aim, take the money-making shot. No, you haven't lost the plot. As you envision your future self escaping self-imposed jail, the shackles were never really there. You preach as the NPCs stop and stare. Designed to keep you swiveling on a dusty grey chair. Mindlessly locked in so your life never truly begins. I'm breaking free from the consumer in me. You are too if you've been wearing green. Healthy boundaries are the vibe with high self-esteem. Catch my drift or give this message a miss, but I mean to burst your bubble. Don't want to see anyone stay in their struggle. Pull yourselves up, stay out of them dark, dingy clubs. Manifestations are in sight when you turn up your inner light. That's what you've been doing. You've been focusing on your inner light, on your I am presence. Maybe some of you guys have been doing affirmations like that start out as I am. Of you declaring and decreeing. Use your voice, use your throat chakra. You have it for a reason. There's a lot of power in the voice. And using the voice, particularly when you're like pulling down those codes and those downloads and you're that conduit and you're that channel and you're expressing and you're speaking in that way. But you've broken free from this darkness that was connected for a lot of you to your bloodline. That's followed you in different past lives. You've closed out a huge cycle. Some of you guys could be having dreams of you literally being at war. But you could keep having dreams that are connected to like a family home. Or maybe a home or a place that some of you guys experienced trauma in. It could have been like fighting. It could have been parents fighting or even them going through a divorce. Because that causes a lot of trauma in a lot of children. Some of you could be having dreams of certain like insects or animals that are connected with like danger or warning, like wasps and Scorpios, that sort of thing. Because this is what you're banishing. This is what you've been clearing and removing from your path. You see here, she looks like she's carrying water. In like women in Africa who would kind of like wrap their babies. They'll have their babies on their back and then they'll be holding the water on their head. And like rice, different things. That's coming through is significant. So a lot of you are going to be remembering past lives like this. Where you were carrying like a lot of weight. But you were still connected to your calling and having that purpose. But you were carrying a lot of weight on your back. And now they're pointing to like the lioness, the female lion in the pride. And it's like the female lion is the one, I believe, who does like most of the work. Who does like all of the hunting, raises the babies, births the babies. But they're pointing to the female lion. That's who you are. You're a lioness. And where you've been tapping into the divine feminine, that energy, you've activated being that lioness even more. Because a lot of you are walking around in this life as like a cub, basically. So you've grown up, you spiritually matured through you remembering who you are, through you unlocking more memories. And again, Spirit keeps saying, like, the more you're doing this work, the more you're recalling your power and who you've been before in past lives in different dimensions and realms, the more you're activating more of your human brain. And this is going to help with gifts that maybe some of you were born having, or they just activated later in life, but it's going to help you to activate more gifts like telekinesis, telepathy, that sort of thing are coming through significant. There's the mythological creature, the horse, unicorn thing that I was seeing from Harry Potter, but it's coming through now as significant. A lot of you have got spirit animals like the unicorn. So for some of you, you could literally have a spiritual experience of seeing a unicorn, or you've been feeling that spirit animal energy around you. Of miracles, hope, faith and magic. That's what you're tapping back into. The miracle and the magic of being a human being. And when you tap into that, you start having these experiences every single day. The mundane doesn't feel as mundane or boring anymore. You start to find like joy in the simple things. Someone's returning to their roots. You could be moving back to the homeland, but there's a message there of you returning to your roots. And again, when you think about roots, when you think about origin, the roots go deep, deep into the ground, and they're also connected to water. Like plants, crops, there has to be watered in order for it to grow. Everything has to be watered in order for it to grow. A baby, a fetus in the womb, it literally grows in water. There's no other way for a physical vessel to be grown. Is why I'm hearing it has to come through water, and there's no other way for a soul to come into this realm. It has to be birthed, born through water. So connect to the water element for a lot of you. It's going to help you along your path. That horse, mythological creature, really wants to come out. A lot of you are going to be connecting with the unicorn energy, but also with deers, with stags. And you're going to be understanding more like what different land animals are at their soul level. At their source level, you're going to start understanding who they truly are. Because it's not just human beings that are going through this activation, this awakening. The animal kingdom are too. Particularly land animals. They're very, very powerful too. They have a divine mission, role and purpose here too. It's why they exist. It's why they're here. It's why they continue to be born and reincarnate, you know. Because there are souls in animals. As you know. The Miriam, the Magdalene. I'm seeing this as Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, the goddess energy. Look here. And again, please cloak yourself from your crown to your feet, from your feet to your crown, in pure, holy, white light. That's your protection. Connect to the Holy Spirit. That's going to activate more of the Christedness that does exist within your DNA. Human beings have the potential to be Jesus, to be Mary Magdalene. To do the work and travel all up your chakra system until you've awoken your crown chakra and activated all of your chakra system, because that's alignment, that's representing alignment. Many of you may be going through a Kundalini rising right now. But you see here with this, it kind of looks like a painting that's kind of very old and it's kind of been distorted. It's got markings on it. But again, I'm seeing that cracked mirror, and now all the cracks are being pushed back together. So you put yourself back together again, which is why I was hearing Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. You put yourself back together again, and there's a lot of people in the collective who are doing the same thing. You're about to be coming into alignment with more of your soul tribe, with more of your soul family. Archangel Gabriel, that's why he's coming through, because Archangel Gabriel is going to announce you coming into these unions, these physical unions. It's time for people to come together in the physical, be working together, not just being pen pals, not just connecting online with people that you've known in past lives, or people that you'll be working with. It's now time for people to physically come together, which is the reason for, like, you know, that the pandemic, the lockdown, is that kept everyone in their houses. And the reason they're trying to do this fear mongering with a fuel shortage, you won't be able to travel as much anymore. Like, obviously you need to get on a plane or a boat or a car to be traveling and to be meeting different people. It's why they're trying to make these kinds of things happen, or even like the illusion of more war happening than it is. Yes, there's war going on right now. There's a war going on in the spirit, and whatever happens in the spirit happens in the physical. It bleeds into the physical. But a lot of these wars are man-made, or for sometimes it's an illusion. They're not actually happening. But a lot of them are happening. And there's an agenda there to stop people meeting more of their soul family and their soul tribe. Because when you meet, you have more remembrance and more activation. Memory is the key. The inner child is the key, and memory is the key. But that's all the messages coming through. They want this shown again. I hope that did resonate with somebody out there. And I will see you in another psychic sit-down reading.